Hello and welcome to Rest for Real. I'm Lizzie Lassiter, your host, your restorative yoga enthusiast today. Welcome. To those of you who are with us live, please find your way to the Zoom chat and let us know where in the world you're joining from. I'm in Salzburg, Austria. If you're watching the recording, you're also welcome to comment below on YouTube and let us know where you're joining for. By the way, for the YouTubers, I personally see every single comment that comes through on my channel. So you're welcome to answer along the way as you're doing the class later. Okay, Malmo, Sweden, Westchester, Ohio, South Carolina, London, Corsica, France, very beautiful, California, Cincinnati, Knoxville, Spain, Pennsylvania, Oslo, Norway, Berkeley, California, Tennessee. Hello from Edinburgh. Munich, Servus. Hello, everyone. Okay, so let me share my screen with you. I have a few slides prepared with a thesis for the day. And as we move along, please use the chat. That's your best way to communicate with me. I love seeing answers in the chat, and I don't feel so alone in the Zoom room. So today our topic is Rest for Real, restorative yoga to support your creativity. And I have a thesis for us that I'm going to present now about the relationship between rest and creativity. I have a master's in design. I've been making content for 10 years for our yoga business. And I am a huge fan, as a working mom of 5-year-old twin boys, of restorative yoga. So I have a few questions for you in the chat or in the comments below on YouTube. Number one, describe your relationship with yoga before we get started with our meditation. So in a sentence or a word, like I'm a yoga teacher, I've been practicing for 20 years, give one little indication. I'd love to see, what is your relationship with the practice of yoga? Lisa is a teacher. Exactly. I'm a yoga teacher, says Emma. I'm a teacher, says Ruth. Also, you can say I've been teaching for 20 years. I've been practicing for 20 years. Second career teacher. Yes, yes, yes. Yoga teacher since 2010, a forever student. I feel exactly the same way. That's what's so great about teaching yoga, is it means you get to first be a student of yoga. Okay, lots of teachers, 20 years, 30-year teachers, student, and teachers. Former teacher, now only for me. Okay, wonderful. Two more questions before we do our meditation, allowing the last few stragglers to come into the room. What's your favorite touch point with me? How did you find your way into this class? So are you following me on Instagram? Do you love the YouTube? Are you on my Sunday newsletter? Through your mama, says Brenda. Exactly. Or could be the newsletter, could be the New Moon Mail, newsletter, emails. Yeah. Okay. Newsletter. Lots of you are here from the Sunday newsletter. Wonderful. Some of you have done our Relax and Renew training. I was just talking to mom a couple hours ago, and we were fixing the dates for our R&R online training, annual R&R online training, March 2026. That's coming up again. Okay, from the experiential anatomy class, from your mom. So good. Okay. From the magazine Yoga World Germany. Wonderful. Let me show you something. I just got this. Hold on, we have to just have this moment. I just got this. Picked it up from the framing shop. It's the cover that I was on last year for the Yoga World Yoga Journal Germany. Super proud of that. Such an exciting moment. And Mary Richards wrote the sequence that's inside the magazine. Thank you, Annette. It was a really exciting moment. Okay, back to today's agenda. Last question before our meditation. What do you like about studying with us at Lassiter.yoga? If you've ever taken one of our courses, what do you like about studying with us? What is the tone, the vibe, the unique offering that that connects with the way that you learn? Real yoga for all people. Wow, I love that. Your availability and warmth, open honesty, down to earth and relatable. The handouts, says Pat. I hope you're talking about Mary's stick figure drawings. They're the best. You match my studio's vibe, says Amy. Yeah, it's like a family of friends. Exactly. Real yoga, keeping it simple. Yoga for humans. Supportive tone. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. So, thank you. Long Shavasana, says Chantal. Down to earth, very friendly. Oh, thank you. This is fantastic. I am using this as an introduction. If there's anyone who's new to us or newer to us at Yoga, that's exactly the vibe that we're cultivating. Ease, warm, authentic, presence, approachable. So use the chat today, use the YouTube comments. We're here to support your practice, and especially all of you who are teachers, because that is so fabulous for me. I get to increase my impact through you when I share with you, and whatever I share today, whatever you pick up, bits and pieces, whatever lands, please take it with you. As my one of my mentors, Michelle Martello, says, lift and blend. Take anything and pass it on to your students. That makes me so, so, so happy. All right. Oh, so here's our opening meditation. I'll ring my bells and we will sit for 1 minute of silence to ground ourselves. Mom always says this is a moment of disconnection. So we're disconnecting from everything that came before your day, your weekend, your month, your year, your life. And we're starting now. I'm wearing one of my necklaces. This is one of my favorites right now. Atta says on one side and yoga on the other side. Now the practice of yoga begins. I'll ring my bells and we'll sit together. All right. So this is a phrase that summarizes what we're talking about today. I'm exhausted and long for rest, but I keep filling the blank spaces with doing because stillness feels like failure. So, this is what's true to me, for me. This is written in the first person as me. But I invite you to consider what word or couple of words fits for you instead of that word failure. Maybe that's not exactly the sentiment that resonates with you. I'm exhausted and long to rest, but I keep filling the blank spaces with doing because stillness feels like. So, first of all, in the chat, give a yes if this resonates, if you recognize yourself in this sentence. Let me scroll down. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, yes, oh, yes. Okay. And so for me, failure was the word that came through today when I was writing this. But give me what word, or is it any of these? Laziness, wasting time? What is it for you? Losing control? Control. The illusion of control. Giving up, falling behind, a luxury I haven't earned. So many of us have that conditioning that we have to earn rest, just like you earn dessert by eating your Hauptspeise, your main course. Maybe stillness feels like a silence I'm not ready for. So what's coming up? Unproductive. Feels like being lost. Oh, Melinda. Lazy, unproductive. Confrontation with feeling after disease. Yeah, never catching up. Selfish. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that, April. Selfishness. Laziness. Going to talk about that later today. Loss of opportunity to do something else. Wasting time. Yeah. Okay. Let's just pause for a moment. This is what we're all carrying. 200 yogis, over 200 yogis in the room right now. And everyone is saying the same thing. Notice the setup of this sentence. I'm exhausted and I long to rest. This is a deep human animal need of my body that I'm pushing away. Instead, I'm filling up any blank spaces that I find in my day with doing, with, we could put there, productivity, because stillness feels like, and then your word. Please feel free to copy this into your notebook. You're going to need a notebook for today's class, old-fashioned journal type of notebook. Copy this into your notebook, but put, instead of failure, put the word that resonates with you or the couple words that resonates with you. I'll give you a moment. Odd says, oh, I really, oh, I hear that with my heart. Odd says, I'm exhausted and long to rest, but I keep filling the blank spaces with doing because stillness feels like I'm going to cry. Yeah, yeah. All right. So, journaling prompt number one. We're going to do 3 segments of journaling throughout our time together today. We have another luxurious hour to spend together. So, the first journaling prompt is, oh, and here's some kind of concepts, some ideas, advice from me about how this type of journaling works. So, what this type of journaling does is it helps us to surface from our unconscious mind, from our wisdom self. If you know the kosha model, we're going deeper here into writing things we maybe don't consciously know yet. And so, what's really helpful is to, I always say, write like you're getting paid by the word. So, that means just keep going. If you don't know what to write, write, I don't know what to write. Don't edit or second guess what's coming out. You're just gonna let it bubble up. There's no need for complete sentences. You can obviously write in whichever language is your most easeful native language. Pen and paper, in my experience, works best. I was thinking about including in my newsletter my favorite pen. I'm obsessed with this pen. I order them boxes at a time, like 12 of them at a time. It's called the Pilot. I'm going to just show you because I love it so much. Pilot G2 1.0. And I found it because my dad during COVID like got obsessed with pens and he ordered, I don't know, 15 different pens from Amazon, tested them all out, and he found this was the best pen. And then he gave me a box of these pens. And now I've been obsessed with this pen. So have a good pen. It's very important. And pen and paper, I think, just works more fluidly. And there's less chance of distraction from any kind of notifications or interneting on your device. So here's our journaling prompt number one. Before I go there, someone just asked in the chat for that sentence. Let's go back one slide so you can get this. I'm exhausted and long to rest, but I keep filling the blank spaces with doing because stillness feels like X. Your X might be different than mine. Failure. What's the word that bubbled up this afternoon? Okay, so here's the suggestions around journaling, and here is your journaling prompt. I'm going to give us some time together on the timer, and I would like you, I'm going to set my clock for, let's say, 5 minutes, starting now. Stillness feels like. Open your notebook and write like you're getting paid by the word. I'll be back with you in 5 minutes. Do any brave yogis want to share in the chat a sentence that came up for you while you were journaling on this? Stillness feels like. Look down at your notebook and circle anything unexpected that you didn't know you thought before you started writing. And let me know in the chat. Stillness feels like a pond with no ripples. Stillness feels like a beautiful sound. Stillness feels like coming home to myself. Stillness feels uncomfortable, like my body is crawling to do something. Yes, like I'm being indulgent and lazy. Like I might never get up again, says Brenda. I'll miss my wonderful life. Yeah, Emma. Oh, these are so relatable. I don't know if stillness is my friend or my foe. Julie says stillness feels too loud. So many emotions show up. MJ says stillness feels lonely. Yeah. Um, yeah, Emma says I ended with a lead up to the summer solstice, which is next week, and it's time to stand still. Ooh, I like that. Um, Stillness feels like being wrapped up in a silk cloth. Much needed and necessary. Okay, yes, yes, yes. Unexplored territory. Ooh, yeah, Lucy. Stillness reveals my agitation and impatience. I'm right there with you. High five. That's me. Mariska says, I love stillness. Debbie, stillness feels like Atta Yoga Anushasanam. Now the practice of yoga is shared. So good. Okay, loving self. I'm loving this. Um, Stillness feels like, Neil says, stillness feels like getting to know me. Yeah. Okay, love this. Okay, yes. Um, yeah. All right. So here's my thesis for today's class. By resisting rest and rushing to fill every blank space, many of us are unintentionally choosing burnout over brilliance. Give a yes in the chat if this sounds familiar, if you recognize yourself in this, that you are unintentionally turning burnout, or not burnout is a really strong word, that I like the alliteration of burnout and brilliance, but maybe burnout is, baby burnout. Maybe you're just overdoing it. Yes. So, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Unintentionally choosing burnout over brilliance. Okay. Creativity, our topic for today, needs space to emerge. Not hustle, not force. A quiet body and a down-regulated nervous system are fertile ground for original thought. This is my experience over decade plus of creative output. This is 100% true for me. I'm guessing it's also true for you. Yes, says Mariska. Restorative yoga teaches us to open to silence. You don't need more ideas. You need more space to hear the ones that are already simmering. Okay, let's hold that as a hypothesis for a moment. You don't need more. You don't need something else. You need less. And restorative yoga is a structured space of less. Oh, Julie says this almost makes me cry. Yes, you don't need more ideas. You need more space to hear the ones that are already simmering. Trust that all of what you're seeking is already there. The answers are already here with you. In the noise, we can't find them. Super small example, but I had a few hours to myself. Nico took the kids to a lake today, and I had a few hours to myself to prepare for this class, quiet at the house. And I thought I'm going to get caught up on email, but then I ended up doing a restorative practice and, poking at this PDF, polishing it up, and then kind of wandering around in the garden, blank space. And I had an idea of how to rewire something on the back end of actually the way that you sign up for these free classes and what happens after that. And I had been struggling with something that I couldn't figure out the technology issue. And then I just had this like simple flash of the solution of how to solve this problem in my business. And I had been banging my head on it for maybe a month back and forth, trying to figure it out, and hadn't found the solution by doing and trying harder. But then when I pulled back and kind of took this blank space today, where I wasn't even really thinking about that, boom, like a fully formed workaround popped into my mind. Okay, someone is asking me, Julie's asking me to go back. So here's your chance to screenshot if you would like to take a screenshot. If you're on an Apple, I think it's Shift Command 3 takes a screenshot of your whole screen. So take a screenshot of this, post it on social media. If you post it on Instagram, tag me in your story. I'll repost you. Here's your chance to screenshot this. I'm going to go to the next slide. Here's your chance to screenshot this slide. Moving deeper into my thesis statement for today. Next slide. Restorative yoga teaches us to open to silence. You don't need more ideas, you need more space to hear the ones already simmering. And then finally, today, I'm going to help you rediscover rest as a source of renewal so your creative work can feel more like remembering than effort. So even if you don't think of yourself as being a creative, like you're not a designer as your job or a painter as your main job, more and more, all of our jobs require creativity. And were any of you there? Give a yes in the chat if you were at my free AI for yoga teachers class on Wednesday. Yes, says Christine. The full replay of that is available on my YouTube channel. You can find it if you missed it. What I talked a lot about there is the relationship between biological intelligence and artificial intelligence. I'm in favor of using the artificial intelligence tools with care, but first we need to combine them, in my opinion, with our biological intelligence, which is still more powerful for many things like creativity. Okay, brief introduction to who I am. Everything, all the links and everything that you might want to engage in, you can find. It says my microphone is not working, someone is saying. Hold on, I'm going to check. Julie says that. Is anyone else not hearing? Lisa says they can hear. It's good here, says Brenda. Okay, Lisa, maybe try leaving the meeting and joining or turning up the volume on your computer. Okay, Lizzie.yoga, www.lizzie.yoga. I have this little card here that I always used to show on YouTube. If you go here, you can find everything that I will mention or have mentioned. So the newsletter for replay from this class and future Zoom links, in case you found your way here but you're not subscribed on Sundays, you can go to my website and find that link. Information about my upcoming mentorship and retreats, the third eye mask I'm going to wear in today's practice, my spiritual jewelry collection, links to my YouTube and Instagram. So the spirit jewelry collection, this is what is available. Something sold out recently. You can find the third eye mask and these necklaces. I have one pair of earrings. The necklace I'm wearing at the yoga is there. You can find on my website. What I'm doing at Instagram and YouTube is a little bit different. So if you're on one and not the other, I wanted to give you this information. On Instagram, I'm sharing now these freebies and Google Docs and PDFs for you that are really about deepening your own practice and growing your teaching. I'm also showing behind the scenes moments from my working mom life and my philosophy on content creation, something I'm really obsessed with. That's what my mentorship is about in the fall. Content creation, creativity, the themes of today, and of course, rest, restorative yoga. Restorative yoga fan for life. On YouTube, what I'm doing is sharing our full length free monthly classes. And we do these mini courses to accompany the launch of every course on Lassiter.yoga. So you can go look through the back catalog of those. There's like restorative yoga for menopause, for example, that you might like. And then conversations. I'm doing an interview with Elena Brower. After this afternoon, I'm speaking with her, recording that for YouTube. So conversations about yoga, creativity, content creation. Okay. Yoga is our family business. My mama, who many of you know, Judith Hanson Lassiter, she studied with Mr. Iyengar. That's the two of them in Pune in the 80s. I love this photo. Twisted Parvrita Shirshasana, twisted headstand. It's really hard. I tried it recently after seeing this photo. And my parents co founded Yoga Journal magazine many, many years ago. I've been a certified yoga teacher since 2005 and a designer with a Master of Design from Columbia since 2010 and teaching restorative yoga since 2015 at Lassiter.yoga. So, upcoming offerings to highlight, just two slides here, and then we're going to jump back into the content for today. We're doing on July 6th a graceful aging chair yoga class with the brilliant Mary Richards. Has anyone ever studied with Mary? Give a yes in the chat. I love her so much. So you might want to join this class with her. Yes, yes, yes. It's so good. So this is part of a whole graceful aging series that we're launching. There's going to be about 3 standalone classes a year with different themes. And the first one is a chair yoga class, which you have her book. Someone says Mary's book, Teach People Not Poses. Then 3 ways you can connect with me upcoming. I'm doing a retreat near Salzburg in September for content creation. You can find that on my website, Lizzie.yoga. You can also find my Spacious Silence retreat in southern Italy. It's like the last drops of summer at this place, which is a vegan farm yoga center. Very beautiful and lots of beaches in the afternoons. We drive to the beaches and eat gelato and swim. And there we're going to do restorative in the afternoons as well. Lots of restorative there. There's, I think, maybe like 10 spots left there. There's only 3 spots left for the Salzburg retreat. And the last thing is the mentorship. I think there's 13 spots left for that. It starts in September. You can find that at Lassiter.yoga or linked from my website as well. Okay, quiz. What gets in the way of you practicing restorative yoga? These are the 4 biggest categories that I find when I ask students or when I ask myself. My schedule, says Melinda. Yeah. So these are kind of like categories of thoughts in your mind. Resting means I'm lazy. I'm too busy to rest. Resting is selfish. Or I'm afraid to rest. I'm afraid to rest encompasses all of the things like grief and loneliness, what that we're pushing rest away because we're afraid of what's going to bubble up out of the darkness. So I'd love to see in the chat, what is your number one? I know all of us have all 4 of these to some degree, but what is your number one? Is it about laziness? Is it about selfishness? Is it about busyness? That's mine. Busyness is mine. Productivity. It's like I'm always thinking, well, I could do a shavasana, but I could also empty my inbox and wash the dishes and check off everything on my to-do list. As if that's ever going to work. Because the to-do list keeps refreshing itself. Okay, busy. A lot of people busy. Resting is selfish, too busy, time, other priorities. Yeah, committing to time for it. Um, Laziness, too busy, busy bee. Yeah, busy bee. I was talking to a friend recently who said, I love going to the farmer's market. And she said, oh, how do you always go to the farmer's market? I want to go and I want to buy that food, but I always forget to go. And this sounds so silly, but it was life-changing a couple months ago when I started putting our weekly farmers markets. There's a couple that I could go to, and I started putting them in my calendar. Like I put them as events in my calendar, reoccurring every week. And so I don't like I see them on there and then I have to actively decide, no, Thursday morning, no, I don't have time to do that this morning because I want to prioritize something else. But I have to like swipe it away in my mind. So it's on there. That also works for rest practices, is to actually put it on your calendar. Or sometimes what I do is on my to-do list for the day, I'll have like 3 priorities and I'll write them, and I'll also put Shavasana on the list. So it'll be like, write my newsletter for Sunday, do a Shavasana, and then, my 2 other key tasks that I'm focusing on getting. Julie says I'm too tired to do a restorative practice. Yeah, that is very common. I feel that sometimes. I think the advice I would say, Julie, is to make it simpler, to do less. to make a restorative practice easier and smaller by doing one blanket back bend or by just doing simple legs up on the couch and covering your eyes. Set a timer for 15 minutes. So it's like if the restorative practice is such a mountain, then it is going to feel exhausting. Okay, my rewiring for us, I'm going to read through these for these four and just really focus on the one that was the most, that speaks the most to your experience. But a rewiring for resting means I'm lazy. Resting is how I proactively rewire my nervous system and reclaim my energy. That sounds amazing. Resting is selfish? No. When I rest, I return to my relationships with presence and groundedness. Uh, yeah. Resting like helps my kids because I'm a better mom after I've done Shavasana. That's fact. That's a fact. Okay, I'm too busy to rest. No, rest isn't a reward for finishing because you're never going to finish. It's part of my workflow and helps me create with clarity. This is a game changer for me when I think of rest as part of my workflow, as part of my day, as part of, this is shocking, being productive, is building in these blank spaces for myself. And I will say, some of you I know are starting to engage with AI as I am. The more I'm engaging with AI and becoming more productive, where the frequency of how much I'm being able to create for social media, for example, is increasing, I'm noticing that my nervous system is craving as a balance more blank spaces. And I'm working more of those blank spaces into the flow of my workday, like going out in the garden for 20 minutes and weeding something, raking something. That is a great balance to productivity. All right, the last one, I'm afraid to rest. No, rest teaches me to feel safe in silence and more at home in my own body. Journaling prompt number 2 before we move to Shavasana. My current relationship with rest is. You're just going to finish that sentence and keep going. Remember, it's as if you're getting paid by the word. I'm going to once again set a timer for us for 5 minutes, and then I'll be back with you. All right. So I'd love to see in the chat a word or a sentence that came through for you about your current relationship with rest or anything else that was interesting. Kathy asked a question. How can we incorporate blank spaces into a busy workday when, for example, I work as a teacher in a busy school? So that's a great question. I'm self-employed, so I am in charge, of course, of the flow of my day to a great extent. What I would suggest, Kathy, is to look for those mini blank spaces. Like when you've asked the students to do an exercise and they're working quietly, that you don't then look at your lesson plan and start thinking about what's next. You just allow yourself to sit for those 5 minutes and be in the blank space. When you go to the bathroom, don't take your phone with you, that type of thing. So, cultivating those micro doses of blank spaces wherever they can arise. And the first step for all of us is to notice the urge to fill those micro blank spaces. Mostly for me, it's with my phone. I ate lunch by myself. Today I sat in the garden and had a beautiful bowl of food. And I noticed my instinct to turn on a podcast or, like engage with, let me check Instagram. And I left my phone inside and I sat there with the birds and ate my lunch. That's a blank space. So those are available to us throughout the day, even if we work for someone else or have a more demanding schedule. Okay, so what came through is that Marie says, my relationship with rest is irregular, but better than ever. Um, yeah, Neil says, interesting what Judith often says, only do 80% of what you're capable of to leave 20% of your time open for space. Yes. Yes. Just to take a breath, learning to embrace rest. Okay, rest is a daily need my body requests. Yeah, my rest is allowing, someone wrote. I love this. I love this. Okay, now I hear a kid fiddling at my locked studio door. Now it's time for Shavasana. So let me show you the setup for today. What I will suggest is that we practice a wide-legged Shavasana so that the arms are quite wide and the legs are quite wide, and we really put our physical body into a supported state of held openness. So we're safe and held, but we're really wide open, which I think is a kind of energetic signature of receptivity, receiving intuition and wisdom. So if you don't have enough props to do exactly this setup, then improvise. If you need to, if you only have one bolster, for example, if you need to put your legs closer together, then do that. I'm going to show the setup and then I'm going to practice with you. I'll just come up and mute myself and get us started. And then I'm going to practice with you. We'll stay in the pose for probably 20 minutes. Don't be nervous. Don't be afraid of the silence. That's exactly how we teach restorative yoga. So there will be the space of emptiness. Let me switch. Let me switch to my AirPods for the moment. Okay, I'm going to move back here and show you the setup. Let me turn on a little bit more light. So the basic idea is that we want to have our legs really wide, and that width. It's also great for me here because it's quite hot today in Austria. So what I'm doing is I actually have like a Pilates roller and I've wrapped a blanket around it, or I could use two bolsters next to each other or heavy pillows, whatever it is. But normally when we teach Shavasana, we have the legs like kind of like this together. What we're doing today is much, much wider. So they're really wide apart, which means that the ankle support, you need two blankets, one under each ankle. So I'm going to set myself up. General rule of thumb, we want the knees twice as high as the ankles in restorative. So in Shavasana. So here, my knees, and then I have a rolled blanket, single rolled blanket for each ankle. And it's nestling in to my Achilles tendon there, that curve on the back of my ankle. Okay, then I'm going to lie down and make sure my lower back is really pressed down to the floor. Before I lie down, I'm going to cover myself up with a blanket. And then I'm going to come down, press my lower back to the floor, take a pillow behind the head, neck, and shoulders, tuck it in. I'm going to cover my eyes here with one of my third eye masks. You could use an eye bag, of course, or a scarf. And situate your arms really wide here, even as wide as a T or just as wide as I have them here. Oh, amazing. Okay, let me come up to the computer and get us started. So you're now settling your physical body toward Shavasana. Comfort is key here. It's a revolutionary idea that your physical comfort matters, but it is our assertion in restorative yoga that by making the physical body comfortable, so many of the other layers of your being will also allow themselves to be comfortable or to relax, the energetic body, for example. Your eyes are covered. Your mouth is soft. Let your tongue soften and move away from the roof of your mouth. There's nothing to do here. There's nothing to achieve. There's nothing to produce or consume. You're lying here in this blank space, gifting yourself this blank space. And I'll be back with you in a few minutes to ring the bells and bring us back together. Inhale your breath. Exhaling, press your lower back down to the floor and turn your kneecaps up towards the ceiling before you bend your knees one by one. Roll yourself to the side. Either side, it doesn't matter. And press yourself back up to sitting. Crawl back to your computer. I can hear the thunder beginning outside. There's a summer rainstorm coming. We'll finish our session together with my conclusion for us. Cultivating creativity means cultivating blank spaces to listen to my intuition. These are my favorite blank spaces that I intersperse throughout my day. Asana, pranayama, meditation, walking in the woods, weeding in my garden. I'm trying to learn how to befriend weeding, daydreaming with a paper book in my hand. That is one of my favorite activities. I think I'm reading, but then I notice I'm always looking away and daydreaming. Somatic strength training, that's our style of strength training for yogis with the breath. Swimming laps, it's a wonderful blank space. Sauna, Shavasana, we just experienced. And my bathtub might be my absolute favorite blank space. So, our third journaling prompt, which will be your homework from today's class because we have 2 minutes before our time is up. The journaling prompt to take with you is to take something that you've written. So you look at your notebook, maybe go through with a different colored pen or with a highlighter, circle, underline anything that you've written that's interesting, that's poetic, and you're going to turn it into a poem. You're going to write a poem based on. But if you can, do it now while your brain is in that post Shavasana space. And I invite you to post your poem as an Instagram story. If you tag me, I will enthusiastically repost you. I believe in you. The revolution of rest is quiet, but it is spreading. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for your practice. Inhale your breath. Open your palms away from the body. With an exhalation, bring them together in front of your heart. Namaste. May we live like the lotus at home in the muddy water. Your students are lucky to have you. Your family is lucky to have a rested version of you. Thank you so much for being here. Subscribe to the newsletter. Here's my website one last time. Lizzie, Lizzie.yoga. Go there. You can find everything that I'm doing. Lots of love to you all. Have a great week. Bye, everyone.